morning, IB to our beloved lecturer, Madam Mariam. Today, our group will be presenting the annual report analysis for Huawei Company and Gamuda Berhad Company. Firstly, I will explain the definition for construction and ICT industry. According to F. Andrew and L. Rudock, construction industry is the transformation from manufactured materials into a final product. Meanwhile, information and communication technology industry defined as a combination of manufacturing and services industry that capture, transmit, display data and information electronically. Next, background of company. Gamuda Berhad is incorporated on 6 October 1976 by Kun Yu-yin and Lin Yun-ling. There are three main activities for Gamuda Berhad, which are engineering and construction, infrastructure, concession and township development for engineering and construction. Gamuda Board of Directors consists of 9 members with 6 annually meetings be held. The largest shareholder for Gamuda Berhad is Permodalan Nasional Berhad with 14.6% share outstanding. For Huawei, the company was founded by Ren Cheng-fei. The main activity for Huawei consists of carrier network, consumer and enterprise business. Besides that, Huawei Board of Directors comprised of 17 members who voted in by shareholders meeting. At Huawei, those who contribute more will earn more. Both companies implement FAR660 share-based payment. Gamuda Berhad allowed the company employees to acquire ordinary share of the company through share-based compensation plan. For Huawei company, the share based on employee contribution towards the company and it called as employee shareholding scheme.
I'm going to present two MFRS, which is the first one is MFRS 119 Employee Benefits. MFRS 119 is defined as all forms of consideration given by an entity in exchange for service rendered by employees or for the termination of employment. There are 4 categories of employee benefits, which are short-term employee benefits, post-employment benefits, other long-term benefits, and termination benefits. Gamuda Berhad implies short-term employee benefits and post-employment benefits, meanwhile Huawei implies short-term employee benefits, post-employment benefits, and other long-term benefits. Gamuda implies both post-employment benefits, which are DCP and DBP, while Huawei only implies DBP. The second MFRS is MFRS 9 Financial Instrument. MFRS 9 sets out the requirements for recognizing and measuring financial assets, financial liabilities, and some contracts to buy or sell non-financial items. These standards replace MFRS 139 Financial Instrument Recognition and Measurement. For the recognition of Gamuda Berhad, financial asset at initial recognition was depends on the financial assets contractual cash flow characteristic and the group's business model for managing them, and financial liability at initial recognition as financial liability at fair value through profit or loss and recognized initially at fair value, while Huawei recognized in the consolidated statement of financial position when the group becomes a party to the contractual provision of the instrument. For the measurement of Gamuda Berhad, financial asset is measured at amortized cost, fair value through other comprehensive income, and fair value through profit or loss, and financial liability is measured at fair value through profit or loss. Meanwhile, for Huawei, financial asset is measured at amortized cost, fair value through other comprehensive income, and fair value through profit or loss, and financial liability is measured at amortized cost and fair value through profit or loss.
The first part that I will explain is MFRS 132. Both Gamuda Berhad and Huawei Holding have been implementing MFRS 132 in their annual reports. As for classification of financial asset of Gamuda Berhad, financial assets are classified at initial recognition, measured at amortized cost, fair value through other comprehensive income, and fair value through profit or loss. As for Huawei Investment Holding and Company, the financial assets are initially recognized at fair value with the exception of trade receivable without a significant financing component, which are measured at their transaction price determined in accordance with the group's accounting policies for revenue. For financial liabilities, as for Gamuda Berhad, all financial liabilities are recognized initially at fair value, and in the case of loan and borrowings and payables, net directly attributable transaction costs. For Huawei Investment, the financial liabilities are initially recognized at fair value with the exception of trade receivable without a significant financing component, which are measured at their transaction price. Next, we will move on to MFRS 7. As for Gamuda Berhad, Financial assets at fair value through profit or loss are carried in the statement of financial position at fair value with net changes in fair value recognized in the statement of profit or loss. For Huawei, such assets are remeasured to fair value at the end of each reporting period. Gain and losses arising from remeasurement are taken to profit or loss as a transaction cost. For financial liabilities of Gamuda Berhad, gain or losses on liabilities held for trading are recognized in the statement of profit or loss. For financial liabilities designated upon initial recognition at fair value through profit or loss are designated at the initial date of recognition, and only if the criteria in MFRS 9 are satisfied. For Huawei, the group has irrevocably designated certain financial liabilities at fair value profit or loss on initial recognition.
On to MFRS 15 revenue from contracts with customers. The principle of MFRS 15 is to recognize revenue to depict the transfer of promised goods or services to customers. Huawei Investment recognizes the revenue and expense when a performance obligation is satisfied in accordance with the accounting policies, while Gamuda Berhad recognizes the contract revenue and contract costs as revenue and expenses respectively by using the stage of completion method. Now let's move on to MFRS 16 leases. Leasing is basically an arrangement whereby the owner of a particular asset enters into an agreement with the user for the latter to use the asset for a specified period of time. A lessee, Huawei Investment used the straight-line method to depreciate the asset, while Gamuda Berhad depreciate the asset over the expected useful life on a basis consistent with similar owned PPE. The leased asset of Huawei Investment will then measured at amortized cost using the effective interest method and will be remeasured when there is a change in future lease payments, while Gamuda Berhad subsequently measure the asset at amortized cost using the effective interest method. Both companies have the same treatment for finance lease and operating lease. Lease income under finance lease is recognized over the term of the lease using the net investment method so as to reflect a constant credit rate of return. The group recognizes lease payment received under operating lease as lease income on a straight-line basis over the lease term. As a lessor, Huawei Investment record the rental income receivable under operating lease in profit or loss in equal installment over the periods covered by the lease term. For Gamuda Berhad, the rental income arising is accounted for on a straight-line basis over the lease term and is included in the profit or loss.
I will present on the voluntary disclosure for Huawei Berhad and Gamuda Berhad. While analyzing both annual report, we can see that both organizations has different way in disclosing their voluntary disclosure. For Huawei, it has divided the report into risk factor, corporate governance report, creating social value, and sustainability development. On the other hand, Gamuda has disclosed their CSR under one big topic, which is sustainability report. As Huawei use sustainability development in their voluntary disclosure, we can say that they use triple bottom line reporting, where the approach is directly tied to the concept of sustainability development. While for Gamuda, Global Reporting Initiative Standard has been used as guideline and it was aligned to the statutory listing requirement prescribed by Bursa Malaysia Securities Berhad. In their report, Huawei will explain on digital inclusion, security and trustworthiness, environmental protection, healthy and harmonious ecosystem, and respecting human rights. For Gamuda, they have focused on the sustainability strategy, current performance, and future plans. Under the sustainability report, they will disclose on the general disclosure, economic performance, environmental issues, and social issues. Both Huawei and Gamuda are actively make contribution to the social activity, protect environment, and reduce climate changes. Under social contribution, both the organizations are actively involved in the community, education, employee, and healthcare of their employee and publics.
As for the conclusion, both companies have implemented all the requirements stated in the MFRS. Even though Huawei and Gamuda are from different industries, but still they have applied the same approach for their asset and liabilities initial recognition. They are just a slight different in remeasurement as they use different method or model for subsequent measurement. As for voluntary disclosure, both are concerned on environment and communities around them. The voluntary disclosure that both companies show are a great decision as it may increase their credibility. Besides, it may assist the investor to understand the company management.